Yo everybody, welcome back to another JD the Gamer video. Here again with Game of Thrones Legends, and we're gonna keep it going. Now we're on the gold squad. Who's gonna be the best? Let's find out. Okay, so when looking at the best legend, epic, and common from the gold squad, it was a little tricky for this one, but I think I got it to where I like it. And again, yes, there is an honorable mention for this category. I think the only team that didn't have an honorable mention was Red Squad. But for the gold squad, the honorable mention is going to be Rhaenyra Targaryen. So Rhaenyra does have a solid skill set. Ride to battle and glory. Stamina speed is slow. Rhaenyra deals 70% attack fire damage to all enemies with an 80% chance to inflict fire upon them. She also has a 50% chance to remove a buff from them. Enemies who had a buff removed have an 80% chance to be afflicted with an additional fire. So, potentially you could put 2 fire on. Both of them have an 80% chance. The second one, you also have to have a buff removed, but solid skill here. Does decent, okay damage, nothing crazy, but you can start to set up the enemy team with fire in order to do big heavy damage later. Now, her leader skill: when an enemy is defeated, Rhaenyra creates 1 random power up. So on the board, if you have her as a leader, you'll get a power up randomly on the board. Okay, not too bad. Depending on what it is, but it could change the way the game is going at the moment. I never jest about cake. When Rhaenyra receives a buff, she has a 25% chance of triggering a power-up. So, when she receives a buff, a power-up could just go off. Boom. Without you touching it, it just goes off. Okay. And then you get, ultimately, if you get her all skilled up, start up, 10% defense, 20% defense. Okay? So, you know, I think her main thing comes from the ability to apply fire. And ultimately potentially 2 fire. I think that's what really gives her her bonus. She doesn't do crazy amounts of damage. She doesn't have an amazing crazy kit, but applying fire, if you have a fire team built, is a pretty solid thing to do, and the fact that she can do it twice, pretty solid there. Now, when looking at the best common unit for the gold squad, I think it's pretty simple. Okay, pretty hands down, Northern Brawler. He's amazing, okay? Hands down, amazing. If you have a nice team built, you need him on your team. First things first, stamina speed is fast, so he's going to be moving quite a bit, okay? But what comes with moving quite a bit? Let me tell you, the Brawler strikes a single enemy 4 times, 4 hits. Each strike deals 30% attack physical damage. So, decent amount of damage 4 times, but with a 70% chance to afflict the target with ice 4 times. So you have a solid chance to put a lot of ice on the enemy by hitting them 4 times, and your stamina speed is fast as a common unit. Secondary skill: when an enemy becomes brittle, so when you get 5 ice on the unit and they become brittle, the Brawler stuns them for 2 turns. Doesn't have any accuracy, anything like that. You're just stunning them. And if you get them up to a 6-star, you're stunning them for 3 turns. This is a common unit. Stat bonuses: we're going to get 30% defense once you get them up to a 7-star. 10% HP, 10% attack. I think it's pretty self-explanatory who the best common character is for the gold squad. It's hands down the Northern Brawler. Everything that he brings to your ice team is unmatched when it comes to a common character. That's who we're rolling with for the gold squad. I keep saying yellow. For the gold squad. Now, when looking at the best epic character, I realized when looking at this, there's only 3 epic characters in gold. There's the Lord of Bones, the Poison Master, and the Wildling, what does that say? Wolf Slayer. So, there's not a lot to choose from, but I'm going to have to stick with the Lord of Bones. I just did a YouTube short on the Lord of Bones recently. He's a solid character, again, especially if you're doing an ice team. Really solid. Stamina, speed, fast. Again, the Lord of Bones deals 60% attack physical damage to all enemies and has a 60% chance to afflict each enemy with ice. The attack deals 26% bonus damage if the target is brittle. But if the target's brittle, you're also automatically doing 200% extra, because if you click on brittle, applied when 5 ice debuffs accumulate, causes 200% increased damage to the recipient. So the 26% bonus damage is just bonus, because you're already doing 200% extra damage just if they're brittle. Boom, bam, wow, wow. Okay? Secondary skill. His leader skill, Lord of Bones, reduces the dodge chance of all enemies by 40% for 8 turns at the start of combat. So again, you're gonna land things with him. He's stopping them from being able to dodge for 8 turns. That's pretty solid. And in his secondary skill, anytime an enemy is defeated, all enemies have a 15% chance to become afflicted with up to 3 ice. So if you defeat somebody, I know it's a low chance, it's only 15%, but if you just simply defeat somebody, you potentially could put 3 ice on them. You can very quickly have an enemy team all be brittle. With this guy and the Northern Brawler paired together, you throw in Ned Stark as your leader, which automatically has a chance to put 2 ice. Dude, everybody's got brittle just to start the match. Boom. Bow. You're destroying everybody. Ice is the strongest, in my opinion, debuff to have or team to run in this game. Okay? Lord of Bones is solid. Again, there's only 3 epic units to pick from in gold, but I think Lord of Bones is hands down the best in the gold squad as an epic character. Last but definitely not least is the best legendary character in the gold squad, and I'm going to have to go with my man, Ario, Ahario, Hota, however you want to say his name. I'm going to say Ario. I'm going to say Ario. We're going to stick with Ario. Ario Hota. Solid unit right here. Really good unit. Okay? Stamina speed is normal. Serve, obey, protect. Ario deals 220% physical damage to a single enemy, with a 50% chance to reduce their attack by 15% for 2 turns. So you're doing a big, strong damage, but then you're also weakening their damage. That's pretty good. He then deals 70% bonus damage to all other enemies. So you're doing a big hit to one unit, debuffing one unit, and then you just smack everybody else for 70%. I'll take that, okay? Leader skill and secondary skill. Leader. If Ario is the team leader, he strikes the enemy leader for 125% attack physical damage at the start of combat. So the match just starts. If he's your leader, 125% physical damage to their leader. Boom, right off the bat. You ain't even done nothing. You just clicked play, he does damage. Stoic Guardian, when Ario's team leader is attacked, Ario gives them 10% defense for 3 turns. So when your leader on your team gets hit, he's going to help protect them. And then stat bonuses, he gets HP and defense, both 10% if you get him up to 7 stars. I think there's a case to be made for maybe 1 or 2 other people. Ghost is pretty solid. Grey Worm is cool. But I think Ario and his entire kit, what he brings to the team, is your best bet for the gold squad. Well, there it is. That is the gold squad. This is the breakdown real quick. Honorable mention, Rhaenyra Targaryen. Best common is the Northern Brawler. Best epic is Lord of Bones. And the best legend in the gold squad is Ario Hota. What do you think about my list? Let me know down below what you use, what you think is the best. I'm open for debate. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We are almost at our 800th subscriber. I'm trying to get to 800 before the end of the month. Help me do that. But until next time, man, it's your boy JD the Gamer, and I'm out this thing, baby.